What's up, nerds? Welcome to Nintendo Power Block for February 6, 2018. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Derrick, and alongside me, as always, that retro code, Edward Farnell.
Kid Nick Guy, I'm a radical ninja. Yeah. Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Okay, so everybody know that Kid Nick Guy, Radical Ninja, is an arcade game from Irem. Irem or Denny's? One of them. It just came out for Nintendo Switch. Well, I have always been a big fan of that. They
own the rights. That company owns the rights to all the Ninja Turtles arcade games and the Super Nintendo version as well.
No, that was Konami.
No, Irem owns the rights to them now.
Wait, what?
That's why they were taken off. Remember when they were taken off?
I gotta hear this one.
Remember when they were taken off of Virtual Console on the Wii? Irem removed them because the rights reverted back to them because Konami had the rights to them to publish the games on the for the arcade versions and the.
But the arcade version never came. I don't think the arcade version came out because Ubisoft had the title, and they redid it.
And they remade it. They didn't make the original version.
Right, they didn't make the original versions, and those arcade versions never came out.
I know.
Because the arcade version was Turtles 2 on the NES.
I know, but they were all removed because Irem owns the rights to all of them. That's why they were removed because Konami wasn't doing anything with the license.
Uh-huh.
And then, like, you know, if you don't do something for so long with that license, you know, the license goes, like, up for bid for someone else to take. That's why Activision had it for a long time, and then Ubisoft, and, you know, now Warner Brothers, I think, holds the license now.
Yeah, but that's what I wonder, like, but I really had nothing to do with the Ninja Turtle arcade games.
I know, but those original arcade games, the NES versions of those arcade games, all... like the publishing rights are owned by Irem now.
I thought, wow.
And that's why they have never been on any virtual console or like since the Wii, since they were pulled off the Wii virtual console. They have not been anywhere since.
How did Irem get that?
I don't know.
So
they had some kind of deal. Because like Irem, like they had some kind of deal. And they originally had the license, and they licensed the license to Konami or something to the arcade versions.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I always thought Konami had. I thought when it first came out, Konami had the rights for just Turtles, just the video game. Mm-hmm. So the arcade version, and when Ultra Games bought that first version of Turtles out, they were like two separate games. But the arcade edition came the second game, and then even like on the Super Nintendo Sega Genesis, all reverted was to Konami. Konami just decided to come out with that.
Yeah, but like it's weird because like Irem still had something to do with those versions, and which is why like Hyperstone Heist never came to any virtual console because like the Genesis stuff was on the virtual console,
right?
And then you know that's also why Turtles in Time and the arcade game were pulled from virtual console.
And like Manhattan, the Manhattan
the third
one,
game and the first game. Yeah, anything.
And I don't think Tournament Fighters never dropped neither.
Yeah, Tournament Fighters never came out either. But like they still like have the rights, partial rights holders to those original games. So,
wow, this is blowing my mind, dude. Like, literally.
Oh, trust me, I'm up on the Irem Ninja Turtle stuff. Trust me.
I didn't know that because when I did Optional Opinion about Irem, just talking about their history and their games and stuff, like they're a company that a lot of people don't recognize on how big they were.
Mm-hmm.
And
because
like,
they weren't really a development company. They were like a tech company with a publishing arm, and that's why Konami did the development, and like Irem was a partial publisher and Konami was a partial publisher.
Wow.
Like they were like double published or something. Like it was some weird partnership they had.
the 90s was crazy in the Japanese market, because we here in America wouldn't have not known none of that unless you follow Japanese culture and the arcade scene there, and like hearing reports, because like none of EGM, none of GamePro, like nobody reported that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and by the way, everybody, in the upcoming Arsenal X episode, Expression Pass, do check out our discussion about the Ninja Turtles. There were thoughts.
Interesting.
Let's just
the new Ninja Turtles are.
There were thoughts.
It made me sad, to say the least. So, but yeah, man, like because I wanted to buy them because I knew they were on Virtual Console because I'd played them. But at the time, I was like doing a whole bunch of other stuff that I wasn't keeping up on everything like I do now. And I was like, where are they? And I was looking at it, and Irem, like the rights from this is when the rights were being revoked from Konami and moving to Activision, or maybe it was Ubisoft.
It was Ubisoft, because they.
Yeah, because they were remaking the arcade game. That's why. Like Konami and Irem held the publishing rights to the original games, and then Konami wasn't doing anything with the license, so the Ninja Turtles license went to Ubisoft, but like Konami can't do anything with those original games because Ubisoft has the Turtles license, even though they own the rights to the game. So like it would have to be split like 3 or 4 different ways, and nobody wanted to do that because nobody would have made any money off of it.
Because of Microsoft, Irem, Konami, and Ubisoft. Because that was like
Nintendo or whatever arm they were putting it on. So
yeah, because Ubisoft. Well, if it was Ubisoft and if it came to 360 during that time or PS3, it would be split between those. But I think they probably would. I think some money would have been made. If the arcade version came out, but if that Nintendo version would have came out, I think a lot of people would have downloaded.
Yeah, so it's like this weird, like 2- and 3-way publishing rights thing. It's just like it gets really, like now, like the rights are so. You're never going to get Turtles in Time or that arcade, like those original standard versions ported anywhere, or even the NES and Super Nintendo versions, like
unless you own the physical cartridge.
Yeah,
but somebody, they probably dumped the ROM somewhere on the internet.
Oh, it's on the internet. Like my cousin has it on his Super Nintendo Classic because he hacked it. But, yeah, I'm very sad. Like I would give anything for just a port, like a widescreen 4-player port of the Super Nintendo version of Turtles in Time.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, if you could play that 4 players somewhere, like, oh, man. But anyways.
I still think the Super Nintendo version of Turtles in Time is better than arcade.
Oh, yeah, it's 1,000 times better. It's way better. Dude, there's no contest.
I love the fact that the new levels that they added to that game. To it.
Yeah. Oh man, Ed, what have you been playing?
I've been playing. Goodness, I'm sorry. Graceful Explosion Machines for Switch. Getting further into that, almost done with that game. Been playing a little bit more Lost Sphere, Blaster Master Zero, Yakuza 0 for PS4. Just picked up Iconoclast and picked up Monster World Hunters for Xbox One and PS4. So I'm installing those games at the time of the show, and hopefully I will be playing more of that. I'm really looking forward to playing some of my backlog games. And by the time you guys actually see this, I'll be getting prepared to do Bayonetta 2 for Switch next week, cause man, they kind of up my hours at work, so that check next week. Nice. Look, after a certain bill is paid, yes, for Bayonetta 2. It's going to be all and popping. But pretty much that's kind of what I've been playing. Like I said, getting ready to get some my backlog done and stuff. Like Yakuza 0, I had that on my system for a while, so I'm trying to work that out. I was looking at my Switch games, and I think I'm ready to pop in like Lego City and Disgaea 5, getting ready to play those. And soon I'll be returning back to Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and finishing that up. But yeah, I just been kind of getting some games and kind of low key playing the same ones a little bit over and over, making progress. And Monster Hunter Stories for the 3DS is what I've been playing. So not too much. By Thursday, I'll have more detailed games that I'll be playing. So hopefully I'll be working on that backlog. Plus I promised somebody that I have to play Oxenfree. So I'm gonna load that back up on Xbox One and work on that game. Need to actually return to Lost Odyssey too.
Yeah, Lost Odyssey is really good. Man, what have I been playing? I haven't really been playing a lot, but I went rare game shopping the other day with my cousin, and like, you know, we were traveling all over the state and stuff, just kind of hanging out and talking about games and a whole bunch of stuff. And like, I saw a whole bunch of cool stuff this weekend. I saw a complete in-box Super Nintendo, the mini Super Nintendo, not like the classic Super Nintendo, but the redesigned one, with complete in-box with Mario All-Stars plus World Kart.
Yes.
I mean, if I had like just a little bit more disposable income, I probably would have bought that. And right next to it, I forgot to tell you this the other day, but right next to it was a Rob the Robot complete NES set.
Wow.
Like the robot and the NES and the games and the attachments for like $280 something.
What? Because wasn't a zapper part of it too?
Yeah, there was the gray zapper that came with it, and then the second round of zappers were orange, which is the one that I have. But yeah, it had the gray zapper in it too.
Which I didn't know that they had an orange one, because I remember the gray one. The gray one was two different grays with the red Nintendo on it, because that's the first one. That's the one that I got.
Yeah, see, I have the orange one. I didn't know the gray one. I didn't know there was a gray one until about 10 years ago.
Oh wow, yeah, I remember that Rob the Robot Nintendo one, because I seen it in stores, and then one of my friends had it.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked like it was a bigger box, but you could see kind of everything on it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's when the boxes like for Nintendo, that was like, I think the biggest like Nintendo console. It looked like almost as big as a suitcase.
Yeah, it was big. Dude, that box was huge.
Yeah. And then I remember the Sega Genesis, the Super Nintendo was a little bit smaller, and the Sega Genesis was kind of big, but it was like almost a square in a sense.
Yeah, it was it was a big box. What else did I see? Oh, I saw my my cousin's friend bought the remember the weird, what was that company's name that made the black cartridges for Nintendo, but they weren't real Nintendo carts?
Oh,
Tangen or Tangent or something.
Tenga, yeah, Tengen.
Yeah.
That was Namco and Atari.
Yeah, he bought the that version of Tetris complete in box for he found it for $60.
That is a steal.
I know. We saw that, and then I found the Game Boy Micro. The Famicom version of the Game Boy Micro for $100, and I was like, man, there's so many cool things right now that I'm looking at. I'm like, if I had more disposable income and a bigger game space, I would probably be buying all these to display.
Yes. It's funny that you mentioned Tengen. I actually beat Shinobi for the NES with that game.
Yeah.
And then I beat the Sega Master System after. But that Shinobi on from Tension ain't no joke. I was just like, because it was like the cartridge, it was black, but I think at the end it was like a little curve or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah,
it
they
was
don't
like
look like NES cartridges. They're literally just like black rounded squares.
yeah.
Yeah, and only like the first generation of NESs could play them, but like my cousin's friend said if you had like a second or third generation NES, like you could just put a paper clip in the where like the sensor, like the connectors were, and it would play the game. So
that I think that's when uh that guy walked into Nintendo, somehow got the documents to make games and stuff, and then left, and then they started doing that running away.
Yeah, it was really cool to see that. What else did I see while we were out? I saw a bunch of weird stuff too. Man, there's so much less. Oh, I saw the translucent green Halo 2 original Xbox.
Ooh,
that was $50. Man,
well, that's not bad.
No. Dude, I saw so much cool stuff. A bunch of GameCubes, but like I only saw one purple one the whole time we were out. Because like purple ones are like harder to find because it was only printed for like a year in purple. So, saw the Metroid Prime GameCube game, but it had like the bonus disc, that version. Saw that.
Ooh, nice.
We saw a lot of like what else do we see? We saw a bunch of like original PlayStation games like Lunar, both Lunar games, Valkyrie Profile. I mean, they're not like rare, but Suikoden 1 and 2, and yeah, man, we saw a bunch of cool stuff. Oh, they had a bunch of like NES games complete in box for like $6 and $10, and like none of them were like good NES games. It was like what were they? I don't even remember I don't even remember half of these games.
City Connection or something like that.
One was like The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, and
that one was a classic around because that was Konami, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I have that game.
I've never got to play it.
They had like, I don't know, man. They had so many cool things. But yeah, I mean, I didn't really play a lot of games this week. I did pick up a bunch of things though. I picked up a few Wii U games I was missing. I got Monster Hunter World for PS4, Skyrim for Switch.
Yes.
I only need 2 more Switch games to complete the list of games that are out now.
That you want, because
that I want. I mean, there's so many like indie games and stuff out there now that I'm just like I can't.
I'm just talking about physical games.
Yeah, I can't do it all. I can't do the physical stuff for everything.
Yeah, because we're not like doing trolling. I should get that Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. I need to get that.
I might like some of these indie games like Lumo. I might get the physical copy at some point.
Yeah, I think well, after you mentioned that they was making physical for Switch, I was going to wait and get that.
Yeah,
because I mean we have it for PS4, but I'm just like,
yeah.
No, I'm like, I might, if I end up liking the game when I'm on the go, I'll be wanting to play that in, because well, since Sony doesn't feel like investing in reprinting Vitas.
Yeah, I need to I need Sonic Forces, which, I mean, that's only like $30. I can really get that anytime I want to. And like, it's not really a big deal if I don't get Sonic Forces, to be honest with you. But and the Lego Marvel Superheroes 2 are like the last two on my list of games that I want to have in my collection. So
mine's is just a list of 17 games. Then I just need to catch up.
I mean, like if like there are certain indie games that I'm going to get the physical copy when they come out. Like Super Meat Boy is getting a physical edition, so I'll probably get that just to have. And Lumo is another one. If Shovel Knight gets a physical copy, dude.
Oh, that's a must.
You better believe I'm buying that for a 5th time.
Okay.
Let's see.
Like
I own it more than 5 times. Let's see. Wii U,
I
3DS. Uh,
I own it on physical cartridge for 3DS with the
yeah,
sound.
I have. Let's see. I have it on 3DS, Wii U, Switch, PS4. But I bought the PS4 version, so I automatically own the PS3 and Vita versions,
Mm-hmm.
and I own the Xbox One version because like
Yeah.
those versions have extra levels in them.
Yeah, see, I didn't get the PS4 and the Xbox versions because me being dedicated to Nintendo, I would just like Shovel Knight feels at home on Nintendo. So anytime they release it on the Nintendo platform, plus I got the Shovel Knight amiibo, uh, it stayed on that platform. If it's going outside, I'm not doing it just to fight Kratos. I'm not doing it because of Battletoads. None of
I
that
can't believe
matches
that
me.
hasn't happened yet though. Like a physical copy. I can't believe it hasn't happened yet. You telling me that like all these games are getting physical copies and Shovel Knight hasn't gotten it yet? And like
It's you. You don't think?
the only
You don't
thing,
think?
the only thing before because I think I know where you're going. After King of Cards releases, they want to put
Uh-huh.
all 4 campaigns on one cart, so people don't have
Right.
to have an update for it.
Right.
That
And
I
I
mean,
think
that's the only thing I think they're waiting on.
and I think that physical Switch copy is probably going to be like a fall release, like something like September or October. Um,
Oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait for. Gosh, I love Shovel Knight. I'm sorry, I got excited. Shovel Knight
no,
makes me
no,
happy.
no, that's completely
Shovel
fine.
Knight makes me so
I,
happy. Every
I,
time I
I
see it,
just,
I've
I
listened.
just must say this though. I have not finished Shovel Knight yet.
Dude, we're fighting later. Dude, when I was taking a shower, I was listening to I was listening to the soundtrack of Shovel Knight. It is so good.
Yes,
And like
it is.
it's
I love the
like
soundtrack.
the soundtrack of the game is good, but there's a guy out there that like remixes soundtracks of video games. His name's
Uh-huh.
DJ Cutman, and he does like a
Yeah, I know DJ Cutman.
yeah, he
Yeah.
does a lot of like Mega Man stuff, and he did a Shovel Knight remix, and like everything just sounds like you think Shovel Knight's soundtrack is awesome. You listen to that, and you're like, whoa! There needs to be lasers going off in my room. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah,
I
Cutman does a good job.
Yacht
He does
Club.
a very good job.
I know you're not listening. I mean, you could be. Somebody at Yacht Club could be listening. Please, please make a physical copy of Shovel Knight. Please. I will be emailing you shortly, by the way, because
Yes.
I would like to get them on the show. We
And
started we started communication, and they said they didn't want to talk about they didn't want to start scheduling interviews on podcasts until they had something to talk about for King of Cards, and then, well, here we are. So, so
And everybody, if you want to hear actually us talking to Jakob Lanes, I will be posting, well, by the time you guys will see this, I will be posting the World One interview that me and Larry did with the guys at Yacht Club. So you guys will be able to hear that.
yeah, so
I really, I have the behind the scenes episode. I don't think I sent that one to you. I have to send.
yeah, you have
Yeah.
to send that to me.
You have
So.
to give it a listen.
Well, man, I want to get them on the show at some point after King of Cards comes out, and when they can talk about everything. So
Yes, yes.
I think that would be the best way, because like a lot of times you get developer interviews and they're like can't say things about certain things, or and I'm just like, I don't want to deal with all that. Like I just want to talk about the game and without any like whatever. So I still need to beat the Plague Knight campaign. It's the only one I haven't beaten, but I've played through Shovel Knight and Spectre Knight a whole lot. But what's wrong, Ed? You look
Nothing.
confused.
No.
Okay.
Nothing.
Okay. But yeah, other than that, I've been playing. I spent 2.5 hours last night in the character creator for Monster Hunter. 2.5 hours. That character creator is amazing. I wish every game had Monster Hunter World's character creator. I'm not kidding.
I just have to put my PS4 to sleep because the game started playing, and I
Oh,
was just like, I don't want to get into this because I want to get on headset with you and like design.
yeah. I want to.
Dude, I love customizing customizing your
Yeah,
like when they give you like a lot of options at the beginning, and dude, it's so fun.
dude, it is so deep. It can be as simple as you want it to be, or as deep as you want it to be, and that's how I like it. It's like it
Mhm.
reminds me of a more refined version of Mass Effects, like a Mass Effect Andromeda's character creator, which like
Uh,
with I know a lot of people have issues with that game, but that character creator was a really good one. Uh,
which I didn't really explore because I just really wanted to get into the game. I think if I ever decide to go back and revisit it, I think I might fool around with it.
yeah. When you make a character, do you like try to make yourself, or do you just kind of do whatever?
Um, I know for the skin tone, I kind of make it kind of my skin tone or sometimes a little bit lighter. My hair though, I would have red faux hawk or something, or I keep my character bald. Uh, for my eyes, I now try to go like yellow. There's something about yellow eyes. I know you have the beautiful blue eyes and stuff, but I just like try to have my character have like yellow eyes. But pretty much anything to that, like I don't do glasses or anything. I do try to do nice tattoos and stuff on it.
That
And
is
if they
one
got a
thing. That is one thing that's not in the Monster Hunter game is tattoos. You can do like face painting, but
yeah.
there's no tattoos, and that's what I was like. I was like, man, I want some cool tattoos on my hunter, but I can't. You can't.
Well, I think it kind of makes sense because you have all of that armor on, so
Right.
you wouldn't really want to see it.
Yeah, but there's
Uh,
there's armor pieces that show like your forearms and or your like your biceps and stuff and shoulders and
oh,
stuff. But
okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. Sometimes the face tattoos of the face tattoo, because I even did it in Destiny 2,
Hmm.
where there was a tattoo kind of like under the eye. It's like a line one that's over the eye. I did that one because I like that design. Um, and pretty much I of course make my character muscular. I've never designed a female character. I just can't do female characters because I it just doesn't feel right with me, and it's just like I don't know how I want you to look in the game.
See,
Like if
I'm the complete opposite. I always make a female character. Always. Always.
yeah.
And I don't know how to make a cool looking guy character, but I can make a cool looking female character.
Isn't it weird though?
It's so weird. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah. But I don't know. It was just like with some female characters, if it's already designed in the game, I'll play that female character. If they have a cool look. Like when it comes to like creating for me, it's like male characters. And not to be sexist or anything, it's just that I just don't know how I want a female character to look in that game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
But yeah, I spent like 2.5 hours on that character creator last night because I was like playing with all the sliders and stuff, trying to see how ridiculous you could get, and then I kind of reset everything and was like, okay, let's make like a real character. But like, I was so tired last night that I don't know if I'm happy with my character or not yet. So I might just like start a new character and do that because I haven't played any of the game yet. So, but I did that. NBA 2K, still playing that a lot. Celeste, I'm 300 deaths in, I think. Dude, Celeste is really good too. Man, that game is like, it's just really, really good. So,
yeah.
man.
Which is probably a new story that we'll talk about because great things about that game,
Yeah.
I should say.
Yep. Yep. But other than that, Super Meat Boy, I mean, it's the same couple games I've been playing. I'm still waiting for Bayonetta to come out. You know, I'm still waiting for all these games that are like, oh, I just want them really bad. So, yeah, we'll see. I have all these long RPG games that I've like picked up just for like a collection, like Persona 5 and Monster Hunter World and Skyrim, I've gotten all within the last like month, and I'm like, I know I don't have that much time to play any of these games, so why do I own all 3 games? And just like, it's a gamer's life, man. Gotta but like Monster Hunter looks really cool, and I am excited to play that game because like I have a PlayStation 4 Pro, and I did a frame rate performance, and that it runs so buttery smooth. It's just like no frame rate hitches. And it's like the complete opposite of Bloodborne, where like it just like, oh, man, I like Bloodborne, but like, man, that sometimes that animation can get rough. Like it can get real slow.
I just so yeah. Yeah, about Bloodborne, and I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Man, I love it, man. I love. Gosh, the character creator in Monster Hunter is so good. But since Monster Hunter is not on Switch, we should probably talk about some Nintendo games. It is on 3DS though. You should get the 3DS version, guys. It's real good.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into some of these news bits, Ed. There's not really a whole lot of news. But there's a lot of rumors happening, and there's a lot of games that are supposedly coming to Switch, and rumors and all these kind of cool things. A lot of people got hands-on with Labo too, so
which is nice.
Yeah, and I'm trying to find that story here. There's a new thing for Labo that they announced on Twitter about the Nintendo Garage, which is where you can kind of like take the different sets or make your own Labo stuff, and kind of like it's like a really light programming, like basic programming, where somebody was controlling the remote control cars with the motorcycle steering wheel set, and somebody took the framework of the piano and made a working guitar, which was really cool to see. So, I mean, there's a lot more to this than we initially thought, and I think that's really cool because I was wondering, like, how are they going to do that? How are they going to, really kind of dive into that? And yeah, man, Labo's going to be cool. I'm feeling it. I feel good about it.
It seems like a lot of people who have actually been trying it out, like some of the reporters, like it seems so weird to them, and then they try it, and it just feels like all of them turn into kids.
Yeah.
And it's been really positive, and even though there's always going to be some concerns, it was just like your concerns kind of go away once you have it in your hand and you're just playing, and it makes you feel like a child. And normally with a child, you don't think about concerns, you don't think about anything, you think about the fun that you're having in that moment.
I think there's a lot of cool things happening with that, and like just the way that they said, hey, you can combine sets or you can make your own things and program them to work the way you want them to. Like,
yeah,
that's amazing. That's so. I mean, it's just like a lot of other Nintendo things where like it can be as simple as you want it to be or as deep as you want it to be. Like it just, oh man, it's so interesting.
Yeah,
it's so interesting to see what they're doing.
Like we said when we did our reactions to it, people are going to be customizing this. They're going to be making their own Nintendo or their Labo ones, and it's going to be crazy. It's going to be so cool. And hopefully they put the instructions. I'll be like, if you guys want to design it, here go the instructions.
Yeah, it's super cool. So that's happening for Labo. That was kind of like the big news that came out last week, but there's a lot of rumors, Ed. There's a lot of rumors. Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy could be coming to Switch next year. I don't really care about Crash Bandicoot, but I know a lot of people do. And I know a lot of people thought that this was going to happen a lot sooner.
Shoot, everybody thought it was supposed to be on Xbox One.
I know. Here's the report. According to a report, publisher Activision is looking to bring its Crash Bandicoot series to Nintendo Switch. This comes from the merchandising licensing company GBI, who would know a thing or two if they are managing Crash Bandicoot's merchandising business. Activision said that they want to bring Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy to the Switch next year, as well as a new game in 2019 as well. The company is also said to be planning more Crash Bandicoot through 2022. The news can be found in the latest issue of Licensing Sourcebook Europe, which you can read here if you click the link, blah, blah, blah. So it's weird, dude. Just remember in 1996 when Sonic and Crash and Mario were all fighting for your attention, and now you can play them all on the same system.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
that just shows you how powerful that Nintendo has always been the leader with platform games with Mario.
Mm-hmm.
There's no doubt.
Yeah.
When Insane Trilogy came out, it sold a ton in Europe.
Yeah.
Not so much here. I think Activision is now trying to capitalize on the success on the Switch. So they're trying to get some of that Nintendo Sweet money. Now, will Crash, that came from the Skylander Imaginarium sets, would that play as an amiibo if it comes to Crash Bandicoot on Switch? We don't know yet. It's a good idea. I don't think this is going to do anything. And I think Activision themselves is already too late to the party.
Yeah.
Now,
like if this would have come out 6 months after the PlayStation 4 version, I could see it doing well. But I think everybody's like Crash hype is kind of like over. Unless they announce this alongside the new game that people want. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know how much, because like I don't have any affinity for Crash Bandicoot, but like then again, I never owned a PlayStation, so
it's not even about Crash. It's about Activision themselves. Like they didn't really line up with Nintendo with the Nintendo Switch when it was even announced. Like
they haven't lined up for Nintendo since Black Ops 2 came out for Wii U.
Exactly. And even though they did sales, and even though they seen great sales with their Skylander games, that's completely fine. Activision should have been with Nintendo Switch like at the beginning. Like they should have had hinted at Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy coming out for Switch. This should have already been done. Now, I know there was no guaranteed success or guaranteed expectation that Switch was going to be a success, but you still should at least been like, okay, let's see what the Switch does, and let's put Crash Bandicoot out with the system.
I mean, this would have been the perfect test. Like, you know how people put games out to test the waters to see how, like LA Noire for Rockstar. This would have been a perfect thing for them to say, let's test the waters with this. Let's set our expectations to see how Activision games do on Switch, and let's do it with Crash. And then we'll move from there to see if something like Call of Duty or Destiny or something would fit on the platform, right? And so, like, even if it came out in like December last year, I think people would have been excited for it because they're like, man, this is exciting. But you know, with all these like Nintendo games coming out, and we just got Mario Odyssey, which is clearly better than Crash Bandicoot. I'm sorry, it is. Like, I know I'm not super high on Mario Odyssey, but I can clearly tell you that it's better than Crash Bandicoot. I don't know, man. Later this, like next year, that's 11 months away. You really want to port a year and a half old game, a year and a half old remaster of a 20-year-old game to a new system?
And everybody's not gonna, like, if you're porting this game to next year, dude, they're gonna have to fight against Pokemon if it comes out in 2019. They're gonna have to fight against Metroid 4. Like, they're gonna have to fight with Nintendo themselves if Nintendo has a strong lineup for 2019. Like, why would you as a developer and a publisher wait that long just to see how the system is going to do? What I feel like apparently happened is that Bethesda has been getting so much love and has been making so much so much revenue off of Nintendo with the good sales of Doom and hopefully Wolfenstein, and even with Skyrim, like they've been getting that money on from Nintendo players, and they're still getting some. They got that positive spin, and having no other third party has Western third party has been saying anything about that.
Yeah,
so now Activision wants to jump in and get it.
Yeah, I mean, it would be different if like. I don't know, man. It just seems like, dude, that's like 2.5 years after the game came out. Like, and like, I know, like, we want ports of games and we want games coming to Switch, but like, man, I don't know, man. It seems too late. Like, a year and a half afterwards is like, it's too late. I don't know. So, speaking of Activision, Ed, Call of Duty in 2018 could be Black Ops 4. Why do we care as Nintendo fans? Because Activision wants to bring it to Switch. A bunch of rumors this morning indicated that this year's Call of Duty title will reportedly be Black Ops 4, the sub-brand of Call of Duty that is the most popular among fans. And rumors say that Activision wants to bring it to Nintendo Switch as well. The rumor comes from the same source who accurately predicted Nintendo Labo and Dark Souls on the Switch. Black Ops 4 is supposedly set in the modern times, and the Switch version will support HD rumble and motion controls. Finally, Activision is said to have outsourced the Switch port of the game to an outside studio familiar with Call of Duty games. Would you like to buy Call of Duty on Switch? Blah, blah, blah. Let us know. Blah, blah, blah.
I think it's still late. Yay!
No, well, it's
Switch. I mean,
it's not. But, the only thing is like this is not. It's the same version as the other games coming out. This isn't the Crash situation.
But this is the problem that is late. It's because guess what? Call of Duty 4 is going to be marketed big on PlayStation 4 and it's exclusive. Mm-hmm. The Xbox One party might get some love. They are not going to care about that Switch version. But if the Switch port or the Switch version does numbers, yeah, you're going to see 2 or 3 stories about that, and that's completely fine. But Activision is going to go all in, because guess what, Activision? If you were going to go all in on Switch, you would not have no one porting this game. You would be doing the work yourself.
Well, I mean, look at the Doom port though. The Doom port is great. Yeah. Like, yeah, I mean, if they get somebody that cares about the porting process, like Blue Point or Panic Button or someone like that, then yeah, I'm all for port. But if they're just gonna give it to someone like, I don't know, High Moon, that is like, oh, it's a bunch of people who used to make Transformers games and now they're stuck making Call of Duty maps, like, I don't want that. Like, no offense to High Moon Studios or anything, but like, they used to make great games, and now they've been relegated to a Call of Duty support studio. Right? So,
and that's what I feel like with Activision is too late. Why can't you guys do it in house? If you can make all this money off the Call of Duty series, you should have enough to have 3 teams at least to be able to make that one game for each system. You had the top selling game of 2018, if it's reported that way. So all that money that you got, even plus before microtransactions, you want to send it out to someone else to do it?
Yeah.
I mean, why can't you do it in yourself? Now, it's all good that if it comes to Switch. Congratulations. Completely fine with that. Let's see how Nintendo Online Structure works with it. But I still feel like it's too late, and that this game is not going to get the care that it should be given, because they're going to feel like we're going to market it over to PlayStation owners and for some Xbox One, and whatever Nintendo does with the Switch version, it does. Like, I don't think Activision is going to put the time and care and money into that game like they should.
Yeah. I don't know. I would be interested. I'd be more interested in if they ported the campaigns from 1, 2, and 3 on one cart instead of like the multiplayer stuff. Because like, no offense to like the Wii U version of Black Ops 2, but nobody was playing online on Wii U, and like
But
I
they
know
said that was the best version.
I'm afraid.
Oh, Black Ops 3.
I'm afraid that like nobody's gonna be playing on Switch, and like I'd rather just have them like make a giant campaign collaboration of like 1, 2, and 3, or even 4, instead of like, I don't know. I don't want like the dumbed down multiplayer experience either, and I just feel like this is going to be one of those situations where people are going to play on Xbox One and PS4 because that's where the better version is, and not trying to like downgrade the Switch version or anything, but like it's where their friends are at. It's the better version. It's the better experience. The online connections are better, and you have the full multiplayer suite instead of like a dumbed down version because it wouldn't all fit on the same thing. Right. So,
and people feel like they don't care how the game looks. They just want it to run good and get the same treatment like the other two.
Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, if it runs fine and it works and it's like the full multiplayer suite, and like, and I know they, sorry, I just got a message from Matt. Trying to like make this game the same version, like that's fine. Like I'm all for it. I'm all for having parity across all the consoles. That's all we've ever wanted, right? And maybe like, okay, maybe the graphics don't look as good, but like you look at something like NBA 2K where like it doesn't really look as good, but the game is parity with the other versions. There's some slight differences or some textures that aren't in the game because the game can't run it that way. It runs at 30 frames instead of 60 frames. But, I would rather them give me a 720p 60 frames a second version of the PlayStation 4 version on Switch instead of like, oh, it runs at 1080 and 30 frames, or maybe it doesn't run as well. So, but I don't want to be negative either though, because like I want Nintendo to have all the same games that Xbox One and PS4 does. Like I don't want to feel like I'm being negative about this, because
I know just for me, I just feel passionate, and I just feel like treat this system. I'm like, even though I feel like they're late to the party, treat this system like the other two. All I care is about getting fair treatment.
Yeah.
And that fair polish. That's just for me.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, if it's a parody version, I'm all for having big games like Call of Duty on Switch. I really am. I just hope Activision takes the same, provides the same attention to detail the way that Bethesda and Panic Button have done with their games. So, speaking of
Panic Button does a great job.
Yeah,
sorry about that.
No, Panic Button has done a great job. It's like Doom, and like I hope, Wolfenstein's going to be the same way. So,
yes.
Speaking of games coming to Switch, there's a new rumor, Ed, that Mario Party 11 is coming in 2019. Let's read this here. Sorry, I need to reply to Matt about NGR. I'm sorry, everybody. According to rumors, yes, a lot of rumors these days, ND Cube, a subsidiary of Nintendo, is working on Mario Party 11. The game is targeted for a 2019 release on the Nintendo Switch. The last Mario Party game for a home console was Mario Party 10, released in 2015 on the Wii U. That game wasn't well received by fans or critics, and is one of the lowest rated Nintendo games of all time on Metacritic, with a score of 66.
It's sold.
True. So, I mean, Mario Party is going to be a hit or miss for me. It depends on. What I want is like Mario Party 2 through 6, like a version like that where it's like a board game, and after your turn, depending on what squares you land on, you get that type of mini game, right? Mm-hmm. That's what I want. I don't want the Mario Party 9 or 10 where you're like all moving at the same time and you're not really competing against each other, and it's all just like a waste of time pretty much. I mean, Mario Party is a big waste of time, but like, you know what I mean.
I know people are not going to like this, but I could see them doing Mario Party 11 like a basic game and everything. And if you want power ups, you have to go to the store and buy cards, like how they did the sports one for 3DS. I could see your cards being used, and if you use that card in a board game, you have to wait the next day to play to use that card again.
Yeah.
So, it reads your packs and everything. So I could see that happening with Mario Party 11. We did respond to each other. Hello, Sana.
My wife's home, everybody.
Yeah. We did reply to each other in a message board in a chat. We were just like, well, we expected this to happen. So,
True.
But I'm cool with it. I expect it to happen. When it gets revealed, I don't know yet. I want to say maybe E3, maybe a Nintendo Direct in the fall. But I can kind of see that being a route. And I would love to see a multi-board where you get to select like you're all on one board, but you have to go do different sections to get to that star. And depending on what lands on each person's like kind of directional path on that one board, I should say. If they land on something to move your star, then that's the way that the star gets moved. So if you land on a spot that's just be like, if you win this mini game, you get to choose who gets their star move, and the other people would not know, so they can't watch it. So I think they could go different routes with this Mario Party 11.
Yeah.
Now, Mario Party 2 to 6, I will definitely be pre-ordering that like right away if that happens, because I love the N64, and I definitely love the GameCube game versions. Like Mario Party 4, 3 or 4 on game. Was it 3 or 4?
3 was on N64. 4 was the first one on GameCube.
Okay. Then it's 4 on GameCube. I love that one. Yeah. I think that's the best.
That's probably the best one, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I don't know. 8 wasn't bad either on Wii. It was just Wii. So
yeah.
So Ed, did you see this weird new accessory available in Japan for Switch?
No, I have not.
It's a portable like thing. It's a thing that goes around your neck, and it's like a harness, and then it folds up, and you put the screen in front of you, and it has a holster for the Pro Controller, so you can play your Switch like this, with it like sitting like right in front of you like this.
Oh.
It's really weird. It doesn't even have a name, like in the article. It's just this. I don't even know how to explain it. It's gonna be the cover for the episode, though. I'm gonna tell you that much.
You have to post it in the group. I have to see this.
Okay. I'm just gonna Facebook. I'm just gonna send a link to you in the Facebook chat, because it's amazing. This thing is amazing. It's like I don't even know how to explain it. It's like this. It's just this harness that goes around your neck, and it loops up, and there's this little thing at the end of it that holds the screen in front of your face, and you can either play with the Joy-Cons or the Pro Controller. And like you could like sit on the. It's showing a girl sitting on the bus playing it with it like this, and I'm like, who would have the nerves to go play something like this? So that's weird.
My goodness!
It's just like the weirdest thing.
That's too much.
Yeah,
but it's Japan, so I expect nothing less.
There, I sent it to you in the Facebook chat.
Oh my goodness!
It's weird. The last kind of big news story we're gonna get to today, and I'm gonna await your reaction to this. But are you seeing this?
It's coming. I'm scrolling down to see it, because this like is supposed to be the most insane thing ever.
Yeah.
Come on, computer.
Pretty much.
But going with the next story.
Okay, the next story. Nintendo president is open to partnering with other tech companies. Nintendo president Tatsumi Kimishima recently spoke to Japanese business outfit Nikkei, where he revealed at an interesting bit of news. He said Nintendo's open to merge other companies' technologies with their own and are open to investing in such companies as well. Quote, the technological advancement in the world is fast. While we're looking at front-end technology, we're always thinking about the future of Switch. Recently, even though we had decreased profit for 8 years straight, we kept investing in R&D. Because we had lots of funds, we were able to develop Switch and completed a lineup of appealing games in the first year. Producing explosive hits is Nintendo's value of existence. Oh, did you react to that thing?
This is a ridiculous mess. What is this? Oh, I'm sorry, everybody. I wasn't trying to laugh through the story. But what?
I know, right? Isn't that ridiculous? Isn't that the weirdest thing you've ever seen in your life?
Ay.
Oh, man. I'm going to continue this quote here. Producing explosive hits is Nintendo's value of existence. There are many interesting technologies in other companies outside Nintendo. If it's possible to merge them with our company's technology, we will also consider investing outside. Nintendo doesn't typically talk about potential relationships with other companies, especially companies that it might invest in or acquire. Kimishima didn't specify which companies he had in mind, but it's one of the first times that he's openly talking about using and incorporating outside technology. They tend to create virtually all their own technology, whether it's hardware or software. So that's interesting. I mean, we already know they worked with NVIDIA for the Switch, right? And so, like, that's not really anything that we should really be surprised about, that they would use other tech in their systems. I know they use a lot of their own proprietary technology, but Nintendo's changing in the fact that, they might use other technology in future platforms, or even Switch 2.0 or whatever. It'd be cool.
Yeah.
So, but what do you think about them using other technology?
I think it's cool.
Like this harness that you can play your Switch on the bus.
That's just a hot mess. I think it's cool. I think they have a lot of ideas that they want to do with Switch, and I think they could do a lot of stuff with this.
Yeah, I do too. So, okay. Is there anything else I missed? Is there anything I missed? I think I got everything. I think I did it. I mean, there's a couple speedrunning things. Somebody beat Super Mario World in under a minute. Under 1 minute.
Yeah.
1 minute.
I don't know how that's
There's
possible.
a glitch in the first level where you can climb into Bowser's castle, I guess, apparently. So, and then somebody beat their own Super Mario 64 record. Oh, I don't want to watch the video. No. Okay. So there's a couple speedruns happening, and then I don't want to spoil anything but for Bayonetta, because there's a couple new things in Bayonetta 2 on the Switch version. But I don't want to spoil that for myself, so sorry guys, you don't get to know unless you want to read it.
Well, if you guys go to Nintendo Life, they do have the comparison video up.
Yeah.
For Switch and Wii U.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that's kind of it. The Smash the Smash Brothers style game Brawl Out is getting a physical release. I'm just gonna run down a few little Switch things. So both the Room and Amnesia games are being considered for Switch ports, which would be interesting to see that. But yeah, I think that's it. We do have one question for Question Block this week, Ed.
Cool.
It's from our expansion pack winner. Let me pull it up real quick here. Oh my gosh, email, stop. Hate you. Every time I go to open something, it gives me like 20 loaded emails at the same time.
So, oh no.
So, so this is from listener writer Greg Schnabel. He writes in and asks, after almost 7 years, I finally joined the 3DS family. Bought a 2DS XL last week with Metroid: Samus Returns. I'm planning on picking up the new Nintendo Selects coming out soon. But are there any other games I should try? There's a lot of games you should try. 3DS is a great system.
Monster Hunter Stories. Do give that one a try. I do definitely recommend that game. Of course, you got the Pokemon, you got the Marios and stuff like that. But
Metroid Prime Federation Force.
What me and Corey talked about, Shovel Knight. Pick up Shovel Knight for 3DS because not only do you get the game, you get the soundtrack that you could download, so you can listen to those great tunes while gaming.
Luigi's Mansion is a good one.
Xenoblade Chronicles for new 3DS. It works on the new 2DS XL, so you can pick that one up.
Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, I think, is one of the better games that isn't talked about a lot.
Yes, and A Link Between Worlds that needs to be picked up also.
Yeah, that's coming in the new Nintendo Selects line on the 16th. So,
if you feel like being retro, you can get the Mega Man Legacy Collection. Also because you got the new 2D XL, check out some of the Super Nintendo games.
Yeah. Let's see. If you like RPGs, Bravely Default and Bravely Second are good ones. I recommend Bravely Default over Bravely Second. And if you're going to play Second, you're going to want to play the first one anyway. But Bravely Default is a great one.
Oh, Fire Emblem Awakenings.
Yeah. Any of the Fire Emblem games, really.
Awakenings, definitely.
I would say Awakening is probably the best 3DS Fire Emblem. But Fire Emblem...
Be prepared to laugh, though. That game is funny.
Fate's Birthright, I would recommend over Conquest if you're going to go that route. Just because it's a little bit friendlier to newcomers to the series. I don't know if you've played a lot of Fire Emblem or not, but Birthright's definitely friendlier to newcomers than Conquest is.
Yes.
Codename Steam is interesting. You could probably get it if you're looking for a physical copy for like $7 or $8 at this point. It wasn't really well received, but like it's an interesting take on the strategy. If you've played Valkyria Chronicles, it's kind of a similar type game where it's a strategy RPG, but you actually move with your units. So
yeah. Final Fantasy Theater Rhythm is a good one. If you never played the Phoenix Wright games, they're available on the eShop. They're all digital, so you'll definitely enjoy those games. The Professor Layton series.
Yeah,
on
there's 3
3DS.
Games on 3DS now. So
yeah,
those ones are good. Mario and Luigi, those games are really good. Dream Team is really funny. And you can play the DS ones on there too, obviously. But biggest recommendation: Box Boy. All 3 Box Boy games.
Yes.
If you like puzzle games, like Box Boy is like all 3 of those games are amazing. They're only $5 a piece on the eShop, and they are worth playing.
Yes, those are a must.
Yeah,
those are a must. They're just the puzzles are so good, and even with some of the like little like music and costumes and stuff, it's a very charming game. But it'll suck you in, and it'll take any time. So you're waiting for somebody, you be like, "Oh, I thought you left." No, I've been back. I've been gone for 15 minutes. I've just been working on this one.
I know, and you're gonna want to like find the crowns too, because there's crowns in every level, and like you can beat the level, but you're gonna want to figure out how to get that crown while conserving your blocks for the next level. And it's like, it's so good. They are really, really good games.
Yes.
Yeah, other good puzzle games though. Pushmo is another good one. Kind of on
that's
the same
a pretty good one.
On the same level of Box Boy. Pushmo is really good.
You really have to think though about that.
Oh yeah. Crash Mo and Stretch Mo weren't as good, but they're still decent puzzle games. So what else? There's other games too. Man, there's so many 3DS games. There are so many 3DS games.
If you feel like creating, I would still say try Super Mario Maker. if you want to create your own Mario games. I think that would be cool.
Yeah, especially if you don't have a Wii U, like Mario Maker, Yoshi's Woolly World.
Yes,
is still on there.
And I have to say, if you get Yoshi and Poochie, whether you get the Amiibo or not, just play that game with headphones and listen to that good soundtrack.
Yoshi and Poochie. If you like 2D side scrollers, Donkey Kong Country Returns is on there. Not Tropical Freeze, Returns, the first one, is on there with like 15 or 20 new levels that you should try. I think that Donkey Kong Country Returns is super underrated.
Right. Like Atlas RPGs, like Persona Q. There was another one, I cannot think of it. I think Shin Megami Tensei 4.
The Etrian Odyssey games are on there too. If you like dungeon crawling RPGs, I'm pulling out my list because I know I'm forgetting something that's probably somewhat important.
Yeah, check out our Game of the Year one and some of our old Nintendo episodes. We kind of did a list of 3DS games.
If you're into the Shantae games, the Shantae and the Pirate's Curse is a good one to have.
And have Genie Hero.
Yeah,
they have Genie Heroes on 3DS.
Yeah. And it probably has one of the best Mario Karts on the system too. Mario Kart 7. Mario Kart 7's really good. I know, like a lot of people. I mean, I prefer 8, but if you have to have it on a handheld, like Mario Kart 7's great too. So,
Pokemon Alpha, Omega, and the other one, they're good.
Well, most Pokemon games are good. So, but yeah,
they said Sun and Moon too is good.
Yeah.
So, check that out.
I'm saving a bunch of questions for a Power Block question block episode. So, there's been so much news lately that I just can't but I wanted to get Greg's question in here because he's a good listener. He listens a lot. So,
Greg, your item is on its way.
Yeah. Congratulations, Greg. Woo, yay. But that said, this is going to be Nintendo Power Block. This was a good episode. This was a nice, solid episode. It ran longer than Arsenal X this week. Spoilers. Ed was really tired when we did Arsenal X when we recorded.
I was under the weather badly.
Yeah. So, you can find us on ngrradio.com or on youtube.com/ngrradio. Please like, subscribe, and share. Our road to 500 begins with you listeners. So if you want to just click on over, there's a link in the description of the episode. So if you want to click over there and just give us a subscribe, even if you don't watch the videos, check out Expansion Pack, which is our weekly YouTube segment for Nintendo or maybe non-Nintendo content.
Yes.
Email us at nintendopowblock@gmail.com. We want your questions for a question block. We want a big meaty question block episode coming up soon. So let us know what your questions are and what you want us to talk about. They can be Nintendo related. They can not be Nintendo related. They can be whatever else. We're open to everything here.
Yes.
So. Follow us on Twitter and on Instagram.
And everybody also check out our mini blocks. Sometimes we post them, like good questions and good rumors come out, and sometimes good ideas. And me and Corey we talk about it. We'll just be like, you know what, we got to do a mini block because our last mini block is super good. Like literally, check that episode out.
Yeah, that was a good one. So, but Ed, where can we find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at ThatRetroCode, and you can find my podcast, Optional Opinion, on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, and other podcast apps. New episodes will be dropping very soon. Everybody, I just been under the weather. Things have been changing, but new episodes will be coming. I have some good discussions.
Yay! You can follow me at CoreyNHT on Instagram and Twitter. You can find me on a plethora of other NGR Radio content. Download our family of shows. We'd really appreciate it if you did that as well. Our shows keep growing, and you guys, we appreciate you downloading the shows and telling your friends and everything. So, let's see what else. I think that's it.
Power Block on Twitter.
Yeah, follow us at NGR Power Block on Twitter. and Nintendo Pow Block on Instagram. There's some stuff up there sometimes. I'm trying.
Yes.
Sorry. Haven't been really good with social media lately.
I need to get better, trust me.
I've just been like all over the place. Last week I kind of took a week off of like everything. So, but yeah, thank you guys so much for watching or listening. Hopefully you subscribe and rate us in all those places. And until next time, we love you.
Bye, everybody. Woohoo!